The other Amy swung back at her. I seen blood and feces on the floor. Now, once again, always just a little disclaimer if you're new here. I don't know any of these news articles. All I do is I read the headlines. I don't know what else is in the articles. We kind of just go through it together from there. I think that this is funny as shit. And somebody's gonna be like, here's a video of Boze celebrating that somebody got beat up. And that person is Amy Bishop. Y'all remember this Willy Wonka ass looking bitch, right? Amy Bishop, the perpetrator of the Alabama Huntsville University shootings. She took several lives that day of her colleagues in a boardroom and had a horrible history leading up to it. In fact, even killed her brother. If you haven't seen the video yet, it's the most hated woman in America on YouTube. And let me tell you guys, this is an old article. This is an older one, okay? But I didn't know that this happened. You, I'm sure, didn't know that this happened. And you're familiar with the Amy Bishop case. I see this. It says, Amy Bishop Anderson beaten in Madison County Jail. Now, there's actually going to be some people that are going to be like, Boze, this woman was beat up in jail and you're relishing in it? Yeah, she killed 4 people. She beat up a woman in an IHOP, killed her little brother. Yeah, Amy Bishop should get her ass beat. I mean, like in a video game. But I'm like, hello, dude. Okay, let's read this. It's her, and then this is the I would like to think that this photo was taken right after she did it, just because it's her facial expressions. All right, so I stumbled on this article. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but when I was skimming over it, this article seemed to give details on the fight, so I thought we would read this together. Huntsville, Alabama. An inmate locked up with alleged UA Huntsville shooter Amy Bishop, not alleged. Amy Bishop Anderson says she witnessed the fight that sent Bishop to the medical ward. Bishop Anderson was attacked by another inmate at Madison County Jail. Tequila Robinson, who was arrested on domestic violence charges last month, was locked up in the same unit with Bishop Anderson until she bonded out of jail Wednesday. All right, guys, I got a question. I just want to know what type of person you are. If you were locked in a cell with Amy Bishop, 1 in the chat if you would be scared of her and just mind your own business because you think she's crazy. 2 in the chat if you would bully Amy Bishop because it's funny. See, this is why I said I'm gonna get canceled. I'm a 2. You could be a 1. You could totally be a 1. Robinson said she was being held in a unit with 50 other inmates, including Bishop Anderson. Robinson said that she spoke to Bishop Anderson on a number of occasions. She said 10 days ago she saw Bishop confront one of the guards at the jail. So Amy Bishop confronted a guard at the jail. And then it says another inmate, Amy Nicole Macklin, tried to step between Bishop and Anderson and the guard. Robin said the next day Bishop Anderson confronted Macklin for pulling her off the guard. Amy Bishop tried to pick a fight with a guard and then confronted the inmate the next day for like de-escalating the fight. What? Robinson said the next day Bishop confronted Macklin for pulling her off the guard. That's when Robinson said things got ugly. Amy Bishop swung at the other Amy until she swung. After she swung, I didn't see a dinner tray. The other Amy swung back at her. I seen blood and feces on the floor. Amy Bishop got her ass beat and she on herself, okay? And you know what? I'm going to say allegedly because there are 2 Amy's and, you know, I don't know, maybe the looks the same. Who knows? But in my world, and I'm saying this because we really don't know, but in my world, I would like to assume that Amy Bishop on the floor after she got beat up because that's funny and I'm here. That's what I'm here for, okay? Bishop Anderson was taken to an on-site nurse. Initially, they thought she had a broken wrist, but that proved not to be the case. She is currently being held in a lock-up cell in the medical unit where she was checked on by a physician. The family member said that Bishop disrespected Amy Macklin and she beat her with a cafeteria tray. And Amy Macklin is now in solitary. Amy Macklin beat Amy Bishop with a lunch tray until she herself. This is the woman that perpetrated the murder of multiple people. Like, she's not like a badass, scary, oh God, what a I hate Amy Bishop. Like, I burningly despise Amy Bishop, dude. I really do. So this was just hilarious. Definitely wanted to share with you guys. Maryland man whose attack on a woman with a semen-filled syringe was caught on camera, sentenced to 10 years. What's about to happen? We watched the... Oh my God! I think he literally just walks up to her. Does he just like... Oh my God! Did he just like try to like inject her like in her reproductive area? Like, it looks like he reached around the front. A Maryland man who plunged a semen-filled syringe into a woman in Anne Arundel County grocery store is headed to prison. Thomas Byron Steeman, I'm not going to say anything, was sentenced to 10 years in prison for first and second degree assault. Honey, what was the goal? Substance used in Maryland syringe attack was semen, police say. Oh my God. Steeman attacked Katie Peters in February at Christopher's Fine Foods on Shadyside Road in Churchton. The incident was caught on a surveillance video. According to investigators, Steeman tried to attack 2 other people before Peters. Steeman had recently moved from Ohio and had 6 prior convictions on his record. Reportedly told victims stab felt like a bee sting. A pervert stabbed a woman with a syringe filled with his semen in a disturbing attack in a supermarket. This is insane. He told the victim, I know, it feels like a bee sting, doesn't it? As he plunged the needle into her buttocks. Victim confronted Steeman, found puncture wound. She said, I started driving home and it started hurting really bad. I called my son and said, something's not right. I hope nothing happens. I hope I make it home. I love you. Oh my God, the fear that he put into this woman too. Oh my God. Okay, this is really graphic. Guys, I'm about to share a really graphic story. A 37-year-old woman who pleaded guilty to charges of sodomy and bestiality for an attack on a mentally challenged man that went viral online. Accused of making a video of the suspected mentally challenged man being sexually tortured, abused, and sodomized in retaliation for what D-Bird called snitching to police. On Tuesday, Holly DeBoard was sentenced to 99.5 years in prison, 2 concurrent 99-year terms for 2 felony charges and 6 murders into the bestiality charge. Oh my God, other charges in January 2020 after a video shared on Facebook Messenger showed the pair assaulting an unnamed disabled man and forcing him to perform acts on a domesticated animal. Can somebody call Julie for this? We need to fly her out to Alabama for this case. Okay, both of those were a doozy, an absolute doozy. Texas man murdered woman and shot her husband because they voted for Biden. Suspect claimed pro-choice advocates are members of the Jewish Satanist party who sacrificed children. Joseph Angel Alvarez is being held at the El Paso County Detention Center on a $2 million bond for the murder of Georgette Kaufman and on a $500,000 bond for the aggravated assault of the woman's husband, Daniel Kaufman. I have breaking news for you. I'm not going to get into politics. You know, oh, you're upset, you know, the Trump thing was hanging out there, so Bro, your identity is not tied enough to your political party to kill somebody. This guy basically gave his life for Donald Trump. And I can guarantee you that Donald Trump wants nothing to do with a man that killed somebody over a race he's not even in anymore. Let's get back to this headline. Suspect claimed pro-choice advocates are members of the Jewish Satanist party who sacrificed children. Oh, I don't even want to. Okay, Kaufman told KDBC he was shot at 5 times but was able to crawl out of his home and reach a neighbor's house to ask for help. They obtained a Google geofence search warrant to examine all mobile devices within a particular geofence area of the victim's home. Wow. Interesting. Geofencing is where, so let's say there's a Billie Eilish concert that's getting out and there are 10,000 people, and we know that that demographic is primarily females that are aged 13 to 25. And let's say I have a client that has like a cosmetics product or something like that. You can basically geofence and like send out an ad to all 10,000 of those people that are in that area. So I'm assuming what this means is when they say we want the geofencing data, they just went to Google and they said we want all the data of everything that happened in this area, in this location over a period of time. I haven't heard of this before in a case. Australian talking duck can imitate speech. The first documented instance of ducks being able to mimic sounds has researchers reviewing the evolution of vocal language learning in birds. Okay, so talking duck in Australia can say "you bloody fool" after learning how to imitate human speech. Oh, it's just the audio, guys. Wait, really? Oh. That's... Okay, the part where the duck is being a duck is really funny. Honking? The whack whack. Whack whack! Was this actually done for a study? Or did the duck just start making weird noises and they were like, that sounds like you bloody fool? But it does sound like over time, it got a little bit more clear. So maybe that's what they were trying to do? Parents must pay $30,441 for getting rid of son's porn cache. A judge has ordered a Western Michigan couple to pay $30,000 to their son for getting rid of his pornography collection. He said they had no right to throw out his collections of films, magazines, and other items. Working had lived at their Grand Haven home for 10 months after a divorce before moving to Indiana. Working's parents must also pay $14,000 to their son's attorney. Frankly, David, I did you a big favor by getting rid of this stuff. His dad said in an email. I don't know. They're in Michigan. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why. Oh, there's no more? Dude, honestly, this is enough. This is enough. This is still great. Moderna misspelled on Illinois visitor's alleged fake vaccination card. Another visitor to Hawaii has been arrested for allegedly using a fake vaccine card to fly to the islands. On the card was one major error that was a red flag for attorneys. Moderna was spelled Moderna. Is this it? Moderna. Both times. Why would she forge it, dude? Can you imagine faking a vaccine card? Because your friend's like, oh, no, it's no big deal. Yo, it's chill. You just get it printed and then you get it laminated. My friend did it too. It's going to be Chloe. It's chill. And then Chloe spells it wrong and now her picture is online forever. Yo, Chloe is only 24. Like, whenever I see people that are like super young, I'm like, yo, one of us fallen, a brother gone. Scorned wife raids ex-husband's cryogenics lab, stealing frozen brains of people who hoped to be brought back to life. My first thought here is I'm thinking of the people that, like plan to freeze a loved one. And they probably were like, well, we have all this money. Let's freeze Martha. And I don't know if this is going to work, but let's just go ahead and do it. And then if you find out that your grandma's brain was stolen by like the scientist's ex-wife, I don't even know. Chat, mentally, where do we go from there? Like, where does my existence go? Is this her? Okay, Valeria and staff from her company grabbed the remains of people who paid thousands of pounds hoping they could be resurrected. What? Okay, her and a team broke into her ex-husband's lab where he was storing frozen bodies. Did they hate him too? For what? Hold on. Val's ex-husband, Dan, 41, lab in the Moscow region of Russia. The lab is Russia's leading cryo storage facility, says reports. Wait a minute. Is this a Russian article? Oh, okay, wait. Should I be talking about this? Why am I kind of scared right now? Why do I feel like some crazy is going to happen? The lab is Russia's leading cryo storage facility. They drained liquid nitrogen from giant Dior flasks containing frozen bodies and grabbed these and some detached human brains and then loaded them on trucks. Police were called and intercepted the macabre cargo of human remains preserved by Frankenstein technology, offering humans the chance to come back to life in the future. Do you guys know anything about this? Can they preserve you like after you die? Or do you have to like agree to like letting them almost euthanize you and then preserving your brain? That can't be legal, right? That can't be how it's done. Any scientists? Any scientists? And it also sounds like they're taking thousands of dollars from like super, super rich people saying like, hey, let's go ahead and freeze your body because we might be able to revive you later. Now look, we don't have the technology yet, but we might be able to. We take cash or money order. That's kind of, am I tripping? They started a new company called Open Cryonics, claimed to be the legitimate owners of the human remains. Oh my God, death is a booming industry? What the dude, okay, so it sounds like the wife had a competing cryogenics agency? Is that what happened here? And she's claiming that they owned these body parts, so they just went in to steal. Police are now examining the rival claims while demanding the feuding ex-spouses guarantee the integrity of the frozen corpses and brains, as well as the bodies of dozens of dogs and cats the owners wanted to bring back into life in the future. There are fears that the remains have been damaged in the raid. Val did not do it well. She just cheated, alleged the husband, who started a new family with another woman. There is a risk of damage, and it's impossible to transport Dewars in a horizontal position. Oh my God, dude, this is wild. I need you guys to envision getting like some kind of call from this crazy like tech company, and they're like, Mr. Jackson, you're approaching your 80th birthday. The best way to preserve your earnings and live a happy life and enjoy the future is just invest $100,000 into us freezing your body, and we'll take care of the rest. Now, I ain't even gonna talk on the cryogenics, whether it works or not. I can't imagine agreeing to that, thinking it's a good idea, and I get to come back and live in 30, 50, and then the two spouses are fighting over my frozen body parts in a metal box. Like, when I went into this lab and signed this paperwork, this is not what I thought was gonna happen. They're having a custody battle over my body parts. I think we got all the information we can from that story, but geez Christ, I did not expect that. Squirrel stores thousands of nuts inside man's parked truck. There's a video of it, but I just like the photo. Is this just an abandoned truck? I guess, like, you know how everyone's grandpa or uncle has like the old truck, the old GMC from 86 that they just kind of left there for the longest time, and one day they're gonna get back to fixing up their baby. Imagine just like a squirrel in Fargo occupying it. A man in North Dakota has been saddled with a massive cleanup job caused by a tiny furry perpetrator. That's adorable. That is adorable. Show me his mugshot. Fisher just cannot win the war. A beautiful black walnut tree in the yard produces nuts that a red squirrel finds irresistible. However, the squirrel has picked Fisher's Chevy Avalanche as the winter storage hideout for hundreds of these nuts, each about the size of a small. Fisher has cleaned out 42 gallons of black walnuts from his truck from every crack. Wait, is he gonna leave the nuts somewhere for him? He fucking worked for this. This is his winter harvest. That includes the engine compartment, fenders. Nothing is off limits. I had to pull the fenders off and clean the walnuts out, and thought, what about the squirrel? Fisher's dog, Usher, has been beside himself. Tell me about the dog. That pesky little red squirrel seems to taunt him. And to think this happened over just a few days. The truck was dude, he did this in a few days? Man's put in all this work, and he's just gonna take his walnuts like this? Drunk man, who was reportedly missing, ends up joining a search party to find himself. It simply won't get any weirder than this. A 50-year-old man in Turkey who was reported missing revealed himself to be part of a rescue party looking for him. Bey, we'll just call him that, had been reported missing by authorities by friends in a rural neighborhood near the Turkish city of, can't say that. His friends said that they had gone drinking before he ended up wandering off drunkenly into the surrounding woodlands and didn't return. Okay, I'm trying to think what would have to happen for like me to be chilling with my friends having fun, and I'm like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna go into the woods and get lost. As authorities initiated a search and rescue mission, locals also joined the hunt as word spread of the situation. Initially, the search, which centered on the forest area where Matula was last seen, was unproductive as there was no trace of the man. However, things soon took a hilarious turn. Please don't tell me that this is the moment that somebody like snapped a picture of him and was like, wait a minute, that's him. After some time searching, the members of the party began calling out for the man and shouting his name loudly in the hopes that he'd hear them and respond. That was when the man in the group stepped forward and asked, "Who are we looking for?" "I'm right here." Yes, you read that right. The man himself joined the search for himself. Okay, media outlets shared a photo that showed him with the other rescue team members. The teams prepared a report about the search and left the missing person at his home. Looks like we have a follow-up article. Last time we spoke about Emma Presler, I believe Emma was still on the run, but Emma has indeed been found. If you are not familiar with this story, wait, did you guys see the video? Emma Presler almost got away with it. So Emma was originally, she got into some trouble when she shot a bullet into a house. I think she was trying to kill somebody else. She was trying to kill this dude. But she ended up killing this woman that had, I think she had cerebral palsy or something. She was disabled. So she shot and accidentally killed a disabled woman who was sleeping in her own bed. And then they were like, oh, no, Emma, no, let's just let her go. Emma's fine. Emma's okay. Then a couple months later, Emma walks into the house of this couple where this man and his wife are sleeping. She douses them in gasoline and she lights them on fire. Then suddenly the police are like, okay, let's get this bitch. And like, I'm just like, are you kidding me? And dude, let's be honest. It's because she's a baby face. She's got a baby face. And you know, here's the really funny thing about it. And like, I know some people are always like, oh, you know, this is privilege or something like that. Guys, it is so fucked up that people looked at Emma and thought that she was innocent and like couldn't hurt a fly because Emma was in a fucking gang. These were gang initiations. This is a little gang member. Like that, all you have to do is look at her rap sheet. Like, are you kidding me? The woman charged in the murder of a Kingwood man has been taken into custody by Emma Presler. 19 years old, and it's over. I don't see any rehabilitation for this girl. I truly, genuinely believe that she should be in jail for life. This is ridiculous. Like, there's no excuse. Like, if Emma pleads guilty to these charges, this will get wrapped up pretty quickly and we'll dial back in and look at her sentencing. But if she pleads not guilty, it's going to, go a little bit longer, and they're just trying to get sympathy from the jury. Let's see what this says. She was arrested and transported to Montgomery County Jail. She's accused of going to the home of 33-year-old Devin Graham, dousing him in a substance, and setting him on fire. Graham died from the injuries. His wife survived. Presler made headlines last year when she was charged with the murder of slaying of Sierra Rod. Wait a minute. I want to see, what were her charges? Investigators have charged 18-year-old Emma Presler with the murder and the shooting death of Sierra Rods. This was about a year ago, September 14, 2020. Sierra was shot through the window of her bedroom and killed around 11 p.m. Her parents and brother were home when it happened. I believe her brother was the target. I just want them caught so bad. Sierra's dad said on Monday, I want to look them in the eye and tell them what they took from me. Rod stood outside the home pleading for answers after the shooters who killed his daughter went on the run. Sierra suffered from muscular dystrophy and lived with her parents on Timber and Crest. Her dad says the gunfire came out of nowhere. This is so sad. I went to ask her what she wanted to eat. About the time that happened, they started shooting. All I could do was grab my wife and throw her to the ground and try to run to my kids. When they did, I got to her room and she was just laying there. I tried to do everything I could and nothing. Emma Presler got away with this. But what happened? Oh my God, did they not follow? They just let her go. They literally just let her go after this because this is the most recent follow-up article they had. Are you kidding me? Like, even after listening to this dad talk about how he found Sierra and how she died? According to Fox reporter, Presler had been a fugitive for 4 months. After the charges were dropped in the Sierra Rod murder, Presler received a felony bond for credit card abuse. This girl's charges were dropped for Sierra Rod, and then she gets a felony for credit card abuse, and then they allow her to go murder another person. What fucking county is this? Man found asleep in pile of chicken fingers, meth in Pleasant Grove days after getting out of jail. Hours after getting out of jail, a man reportedly stole a car in Hueytown. Days later, he broke into a concession stand at the Pleasant Grove Athletic Complex and was found asleep in a pile of snacks and meth. On September 17th, Matthew Williamson was released from Jefferson County Jail after being arrested and charged with breaking into a car and stealing property earlier that day. The Pleasant Grove Department of Public Safety reports that less than 2 hours after his release, Williamson went to Hueytown and stole a car. How down bad do you have to be to break into a concession stand? Like, how? That's like leaving, like going to jail and eating the shitty food in jail and then breaking into a place that has food that's exactly like jail. Like, if I have to eat food somewhere, the last place I want to go is the goddamn concession stand. It's literally just popcorn, frozen Tyson chicken fingers, old grease that ain't been changed and God knows how long. If you ever worked one of them booths before, you know it. You know it. Dude, what? Goodbye, Matthew Williamson. I hope you enjoyed the chicken fingers.